Hello there, you is listening to the KP Sema Writes podcast, and I is your host, KP Sema. Okay, y'all, I'm at a point of having a reading hiatus. I don't know if y'all ever had this moment, which I think we all get from time to time, but like when you read a book and it's kind of like, it puts a lot of strain on you, as a reader. So you have to like take a break from reading, and that's very shaky. That's very like really hard when you're in the middle of doing arcs, like having arc stack on arcs. And one of the reason is because like I literally have like 3-4 arcs going on, and I just signed up for them, and then they come, and then I realize they release around the same time, and it's literally one arc one week, another arc this week, 2 weeks after that another arc, and it's like, oh my goodness, it's like, it's weird, like through like the first quarter, whatever, I'm really good reading it, and then it's like once I get close to midway, it gets slow, and then once we get past 50%, it's like, I'm gonna take my time. And with some of the books, it honestly doesn't help that. Like, y'all already know what book I read, and I did over 40 minutes talking about it, but like, it was a good book, don't get me wrong, but like, again, I'm not with the, stalker stuff. Like, it's really weird. Like, I like likable male leads. I like male leads that I could actually be like, okay, this is the homie. I did not feel like he was the homie. But in taking this hiatus, it's really been needed because it was a lot of strain, like reading these books, and then I would either focus on one book and get behind on the others, or then I would try to read a bit of each every day, and that's really hard. And you want to, especially when you're reviewing something, you want to get the fullness of it, but you don't want to bury yourself in it. You don't want to be like, okay, you just keep on reading, and you're stuck on the same chapter for 3-4 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you gotta review this book and and I'm very brutally honest with my reviews, but at the same time, I want to be kind with the artist's hearts, because I understand this is your art. You done worked so long on creating this, putting this body of work together. You don't just want someone to come around, read it, and be like, your book sucks. But yeah, especially when it's their debut book. Like, when it's your first book, like, I understand when I release my debut book, whichever book I finished writing first. It initially was going to be the Book of Nimamani, and then at this point it's the Love Lost Within the Pages. I have so much in writing, like, I know people are like waiting, like, bro, you have a whole superhero franchise around all this stuff, right? But whatever debut book I release, whichever is the first book I ever released, I understand wholeheartedly that it is not going to be a great book. I understand it because this is my first time writing a superhero novel. This is my first time writing a sci-fi futuristic fantasy novel. Hint, hint, that's another book we're going to talk about later. I just came up with a name for that one. This is my first time writing a Christian romance, an actual Christian romance, like not a romance book with Christians, but a Christian romance where the Holy Spirit is within it the entire time. It's not like, oh man, So this is my first time like writing romance, period. Christian romance, sci-fi, anything. This is my first write all this. So I'm literally reading other books to help me figure out how to do it properly. But that's all to say is, in reviewing, sometimes the debut book is amazing. Other times the debut book is, you know what I'm saying? But I understand most likely mine is not going to be that good because, again, it's just a craft. You have to work on it, get better at it. build characters and likable characters. Like, one of the worst parts about my books I could tell you is the side characters have a bigger personality and a more definite power personality than the main characters. And I know that's sad to say, like, to let y'all know this in advance, y'all gonna be like, wow, the main characters, they're two-dimensional, but the background characters and their friends and siblings and parents are so three-dimensional. You get to, so I have to learn to explore more of the main characters' lives. So, and I know y'all like, what does this guy do? Anything? Well, here's the thing about when you review books, you gotta be really honest with and the main, in one of the books I read, the male lead, really, he was a very stiff and very weird character. And because of that, honestly, is what really created this hiatus. Because it was just like, the thing about that one particular book, it was like, I'm stopped reading and writing. Like, I stopped writing as well. Like, it wasn't just me stop reading, I also stopped writing at the same time, because it was like, I don't want to be a part of anything related to books. I just need to step back. And I was speaking to another up and coming debut author. I'm not gonna plug her in yet, because I want to get her approval first. But I was telling her about how art, like all these arcs and stuff, like how it's just piling up on me. She's like, I used to be an art reader as well, and she got in the same position where she had a gaggle of arcs toppling on top of her, like literally putting her in a position where she's like, I need to take a hiatus. I need to take a break. I need to just, really just have time just to get my brain back to normal. And she's like, you should take that. And I took that advice, and I was like, let me do this hiatus. Let me step back and do what I need to do for my health, and just come back when I am mentally ready. And not only was it like for just reading, but in writing, but also there was a lot of stuff going on at home. And it was like, okay, I just need a break, and just to focus on the most important stuff in life at this point, which is really my family, and really I had other podcasts going on as well. So it's like, I had the Jesus Love KP and the Nerdy KP podcast. I'm going to be honest. Nerdy KP podcast is my worst podcast. I'm not going to front. It's the worst. It's not that great of a podcast. I'm not going to front. So, and that's another thing, I got to work on my craft. Also, I was doing content creating. So, and then I had to be there for some friends. So it was like, the hiatus was needed, not just it was just a hiatus for life and getting things back together and just focus on the important things. So, sorry to the authors of which arcs I'm months late on. Like, I seriously appreciate y'all, like, being understanding. And I mean, I'm gonna make sure, like, I'm getting everything. I'm getting that Amazon, Goodreads, everything. And but yeah, like, it's really hard, because sometimes you just want to read every book that comes on your timeline. You like, wow, this looks good, let me read it. And then you might even sign up for arcs that you didn't even realize you were signing up for. I got one arc, bro. I was signing up to get a free copy of another book. For some reason, I got an arc. I was like, wait a minute. Wait, I'll get this book. I just signed up for this. I wanted a free copy of another book. For some reason, you can't get the free copy of the other book. I don't even know that author really got that other book. I just feel like it was a trap to get people to arc their book. I don't know. Maybe it's like a Marvel thing. You know how when you go to audition for Marvel, you think you go and audition for one thing, but you, at the end you're like, oh, this is a Marvel movie. Yo, it was that moment. It was really that moment. And, yeah, I'm still trying to start reading now, Joy. I'm gonna just let you know, it's gonna be one. It's a romantasy, a fantasy romance. So, it's freaking. I read the author's note, and it started off like the author's note started off freaky. Like it was like, oh, you got it freaky before you even got into the story. And then we get to the first page. I'm like, oh Lord, Jesus, no. So yeah, but yes, like I just advise anyone who's an art reader, do it one book at a time. Finish one book before you sign up for another. Like, if you're reading the arc and you see another arc is about to open, or like you see when it opens close, try to finish the arc you're currently doing within that time. Do not sign up for another arc before you finish a book. Literally, when I came back from the hiatus, tell me why. I see a book that looks like something I would read, and I had to stop myself from signing up for the arc. It's like, oh, no, player. You gotta pause. Think about this. You got to finish the books you're already reading first. I'm like, okay. Because you don't want to end up in the same predicament. You don't want to do that. So finish what you already got to read. That's the thing about doing arts, man. You gotta focus on actually, getting done the book, focusing on one book, reading it, then get your review together, put it on all the platforms you review on. Then you start looking for other arcs. Don't just do like me and a lot of people that do arcs and sign up for several of them at one time, and then they all sent to you a week apart, and you got like 2 weeks to read all of them, and then you lose a week with one book because you're reading another book, and then you lose 2 weeks with another book because you're reading 2 other books. You catching my drift here? I hope I'm making sense. I'm probably not making sense, but you know what? I'm crazy, so it just makes sense that don't make sense. But at the end of the day, the whole point is take a break sometimes. Not just concerning things of reading and arts, but just period in life. Like, learn to take breaks. Take days to just take care of yourself. Like, it is important to maintain a healthy life and do things that are good for your mental and emotional, and if you're anything like me, spiritual health. So always be mindful of that before stepping into anything. But I just need to take that break and just focus on those things and things in my life, as I said earlier. But that's all I want to say on this episode. I just want to thank everyone who takes the time to listen to these episodes, who have been encouraging to me through all the podcast and have kept telling me to keep going. The thing about me is I'm going to continue to film videos if nobody watches them. I'm going to continue to record podcasts if nobody listens to them. I'm going to continue to write books if no one reads them. I'm going to continue to write scripts if no one ever greenlights them. The thing is, I'm going to continue doing on what I do, and please continue on doing what you do. Do not only what makes you happy, but what brings you joy. Because happiness is temporary. Joy is forever. My desire, my skill, my devotion to writing is a spiritual gift. It's a gift that God has given me. And it has been such a blessing to myself and so many people. And I cannot wait for y'all to get to see my published works. And hopefully that God speaks to you through it. I don't want y'all to leave reading my books and you just see KP. I need you to see Jesus when you finish reading it. I don't need you like, oh man, KP's in my book. So no, it's like, man, I can see Jesus in this. That is the biggest. There's 2 things that's huge compliments to me: seeing Jesus through me in the works that I do, and laughter. Like, those 2 things genuinely mean so much to me. Y'all do not understand it, but y'all just, I hope that y'all have a blessed day. No matter when y'all listen to this, when it first came out, months later, years later, have yourself a blessed day. Keep on, if you are a writer, a creator, artist, keep on writing, painting, making content, whatever you do, keep on doing it. I just want to give you that encouragement. Like, keep on doing what you're doing. Much love. Talk to y'all later. Be blessed.